It was a gun.
I'm not voting.
If we want to build our nation.
The problem with the Somalians.
Just want to experience something else than a black man.
Move on, move
Can't be like
forward.
a horse with blinkers on.
Honestly say, I was about to have
Corrupt
sex and then I pulled
crap,
up.
but it's nice.
My name is Tembela Dick, but I like to be called Terra. I am a filmmaker, a photographer, and a researcher. I live in Pretoria.
Hi everyone, my name is Ubonga. I'm from Alexandra. I'm a quality agent from a call center called Market SA. And I'm also an aspiring young entrepreneur.
I'm Tebogo Tinti, and I am a traditional practitioner, also known as Sangoma. And I live in Garangua, Pretoria.
Hi everyone, my name is Lwazi OwakwaMpanza Isibongo. I am from a very old township called Alexandra. Some of you might know it as Gomorrah. I am a project coordinator by profession at some NGO, and I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm based in Johannesburg in Kempton Park.
Hi everyone, my name is Velisa, but you can call me V. I'm from Cape Town, Kailicha.
On my side, guys, around about lockdown, everything just fell down because first, I was never ready for it. Shutdown literally closed everything for me. Income, dololo, the income was not literally coming anymore.
I had recently started working at my current occupation. I think I was 2 weeks old, and we were introduced to this lockdown. And there was so much depending on me having this job that when we were told Uguti, we can no longer come to work because of this virus, it shattered me. It shattered my heart because a lot was depending and was riding on me to make this a success.
I must say that I was fortunate that I did not experience any salary cuts or lose income from the work that I do as a project coordinator. However, as an entrepreneur, it affected me drastically.
I had initially decided that I was going to move at the beginning of the year. I planned it out and I put in all of my savings because I had an opportunity coming up in another province in KZN. I packed my life up and I moved to a different province. So when it hit me and my family, I was like, what? I didn't think I was even going to survive. I don't even know how I'm still sitting here today, because there were moments when I thought that, well, this is the last day that we're going to have a meal. And when you go and apply for government because they say come and apply, and then they tell you, realize that you don't qualify for anything.
I don't think the whole lockdown idea was well thought through. I don't think government actually understands the living conditions of people in townships. Maybe they do. I strongly feel that they were exposed, rather, of their misdeliveries.
I work for myself. The way that I'm trying to work for myself, I put the government very, very far from my side, because at the beginning, from ever I was born, I'd never seen the government providing for me for anything.
COVID-19, as far as I understand, is a virus. And soldiers were brought in to make sure that they bring people to safety. But because of power, a lot of people ended up losing their lives, and a lot of people's dignity was dragged in the mud, where we had soldiers making people swim on dirt, frog jumps here and there, which the very same thing that happened goes back to the same government, who has not done, for me, government has not done enough to make sure that South Africans understand their rights, they understand the Constitution, and they uphold the Constitution. I mean, if we all knew our rights very well and we were confident about our rights, some of our rights wouldn't be infringed by soldiers during COVID.
As an activist as well, I've realized the lives that have been lost through this time, and I'm now talking about gender-based violence. The numbers went sky high. When you go out there, you have children walking around with no masks at all. Some are using socks for masks, and then you wonder, and then you think to yourself, but how is this a fair government? Elections are coming up. You will see the campaigns. They are going to put all their money into those campaigns to tell us to vote. But when it's time to keep us healthy, to keep us safe, and to keep us mentally able to function, they fall very short.
I was so amazed by seeing government suddenly, quickly going to put water tanks here and there.
Yes.
Supposed to be put during COVID.
Exactly.
Yes.
They simply showed how they really, really underestimate us. They should have been, why are the jobs not done properly from the onset? On the last hour, they quickly make things possible. And they make it seem impossible for the longest time.
Exactly. I think personally, I think it all boils down to the corruption in this country. Like, for example, still now in Alexandra, people are still struggling with water and electricity. If you can go there now, I can assure you that you can find a section of Alexandra that hasn't had water or electricity for the past 2 weeks or the month. So I honestly think it comes down to who knows who in this country we live in and who is going to benefit from what.
I have to absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, agree with Bong, because this is the corruption that it's now impossible to hide. It is so obvious.
Yeah,
to
it's
even
out
people
there.
who don't even understand politics. It's ridiculously obvious to the point where it affects children. You know, when you have children involved, we're talking about the education system. We're talking about kids who cannot get PPEs because the funding went elsewhere and the service was not delivered. It is a problem. And corruption in this country is so heightened. And for it to go as high as it is now, during the time that we are in now, shows the type of leadership that we have as a nation.
I agree with you 180%. And I'm not going to sugarcoat the fact that the ANC really think that we are a huge, big joke. We are no joke here. I mean, if it wasn't for corruption, I think other people's livelihoods could have been taken care of with dignity.
I mean, I saw the headlines the other day saying the ruling party is asking for people to bring in the list. What list? Because they are the list. I mean, they are the list of the corruption. No, if they're asking the nation to bring in the list of corrupt members of parliament, they're talking about themselves. So who's fooling who? Why are they playing games with us, telling us to tell them who's not doing the job? They know. They signed the papers. They fund, they process the money. So they know they are the list. So what list are they asking us for?
From where I'm sitting, I know very well that we are doomed. We are so doomed because also we need young people to fill these spaces in parliament and make decisions. We've got a lot of old people who can't critically think there, who are taking us backwards and forwards. It's enough of this system that is designed to make especially Black livelihoods a nightmare.
I think that the change has to come from the youth. If the youth doesn't stand up now, I believe we are truly doomed.
All the members of the ruling party right now are over the retirement age.
Yes.
So people their age should not be making hard decisions. They cannot.
I honestly believe that the ANC Youth League is just led astray by, I don't know how to put it, but by the elders of the ANC. You find people that are currently in the ANC, the person is 50 years and they are planning 2030? Where will that person be in that 2030?
I can say this from my point of view and from the people that I have around me and have these discussions with. People that vote for the ANC, it's people who have misplaced loyalty and support. It's people who, based on the history of the country, they make their decision based on that. They are not making their decision based on the now. People also, they always say, oh, but the ANC gave us the freedom. The ANC gave us this. The ANC gave us that. I'm not denying and I'm not disputing any of that. What is the ANC doing today? Because that is what we are dealing with today. So it needs to change completely. It needs to be completely shattered and built up from the word go. All these old people need to go. You need to bring in young blood. All these bad constitutional laws and bylaws need to go. We need new laws and bylaws. I mean, the people of color in this country are still oppressed. We are being violated by the justice system. We are being violated by the government. We are being violated by the entire parliament. When you raise an issue, they tell you a reason that you need. It's almost like they think that Black people deserve to suffer. It's almost like some people say, well, at least Daram, or at least Akfani. We can't live an Akfani life.
They're actually trying to normalize poverty. Like I've never seen it while I was growing. Today we live in times where they actually launch shacks. What is that? They're actually normalizing poverty. And the people that still vote for the ANC, I fully agree with you, are people who still hanging on to the fact that, but the ANC gave us freedom. But what is the ANC going to do for us from now in the future? It will bury us 6 feet down. The fact that people receive social grants and they think ANC is doing an amazing job, it's also a shame, because really it's tempting on the privilege, the less privileged needs. I mean, what can one do with a social grant? Really, we can never live our best lives from 350 or from even 2,000 rands. We can never.
That touches my heart so badly, because I feel like the social grant is basically them telling us, don't do anything. Just sit there and wait for this money. The grant is basically telling us, sit down and shut up.
My dream is a South Africa that is corruption-free, with definitely a change of the current leadership. My dream is also South Africans understanding what their rights are and fully upholding the Constitution up high.
My dream is to live in a country where being a woman and being a child has to be an extreme sport. Every day it is a fight to survive. I dream of a country where being a Black woman in this country is not going to be seen. It's not going to make me an endangered species. I dream to live in a country where we are under new, young leadership.
I dream to live in a liberated country where we all live our best lives and we have each other. And my dream is to live in a country where everyone is equal.
Yeah, Z, you should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong. You should ever sit and talk with people, or else take a walk and create a straight talk. Talk what is nice, it will make you feel stronger. Listen what is right and say what is wrong.